Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm, and this is video 5 in the series that teaches you how to use Canvas to set up distance learning and in-person learning in your classroom. In this video and in the next, we're going to cover assignments and quizzes. Assignments and quizzes are pretty similar, but they're used for different things, and it's important to think about whether you want to use an assignment or a quiz for a specific thing that you want students to do in class or at home. And we're going to talk about the differences between these two tools in the next couple videos. This video is going to primarily focus on assignments. The next video will focus on quizzes. So let's talk about what an assignment is. Assignments in Canvas are essentially anything that you have students doing that they can turn in a document, or turn in a worksheet, or present a project, or what have you, right? It's essentially anything they're doing that's not a fill out these questions or answer these questions and give it to me. If you have a worksheet, let's say for example, you have them watching a video in class and then you have an accompanying worksheet that goes with that video, in my opinion, it would be better to build that as a quiz in Canvas, and I will show you why here in a minute. But if you have something like, hey, I want you to go out there and make something, or I want you to write a paper, or I want you to film a video of you talking about this subject, or whatever, that is what you would use an assignment for. So let's talk about how to build an assignment. So I want the assignment to go within. I want it to go inside this Term 1 section. So I'm going to click the plus button on the Term 1 header to create a new assignment. So I have a couple of assignments here that I've been playing around with, but I want a new assignment. So I'm going to call this, instead of scavenger hunt, because I've already burned that title, I'm going to call it online. Ooh, hello. Online scavenger hunt. So this would be, essentially this would be like an assignment where I was introducing students how to the concept of how to find things online, and I would have them go out and find certain things on the internet, and they would work together in groups, right? So I would click Add Item. And now I want to indent this twice. The reason why I indent assignments twice is because I want anything that's going to be graded to be indented twice so it stands out even more on the modules page. I want all of my lessons to be only indented once, and I want unit sections, section headers to be indented none at all. That way there's a good flow to the content. Okay, so now I have my assignment. I'm going to click on it and see what options I have available to me. Well, there's a lot here. So let's talk about, actually, instead of editing this right away, I'm actually going to talk about this down here first. So right here it says points none, submitting nothing. This means this assignment is not worth any points right now, and there's no way to submit this. There's no way to submit this assignment yet, right? We're going to change that when we edit the assignment. The other thing down here, this is the right here is the due date, who it's due for, and how long this assignment is available. So right now we do not have a due date. It is for everyone, meaning I haven't indicated that a specific group is the only group that needs to work on this. Your Canvas course may be built so that you have, let's say you teach 4 sections of the same course, right? You teach, 9th grade English, and you teach 4 periods of that. You may have a 9th grade English course, but then inside of that course, you'll have 4 separate sections for the different class periods you teach. And let's say you only want to assign this assignment to your first period class. You can assign it specifically for first period, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. And then we have available from until. You can set this assignment so that it is only available during a certain date range. You can also set time as well. So for example, if you have an assignment that is time sensitive and you want them to complete it within a certain week, you can say it's available from now until the end of that week, right? So those are options you have available to you. Another thing that you want to look at is this rubric button. Rubric will allow you to create a brand new rubric for this assignment itself. You can title the rubric. You can call it, scavenger hunt. And you can create new criteria within this rubric. So let's say this first criterion is going to be group work. And the description is going to be all students, students work together respectfully. I don't know why I can't spell today. And then click Update Criterion. And let's say maybe you want this to be worth 10 points instead of the 5. So we can say 10 points is full marks, and then we'll add a new rating in the middle, 5 points, meaning, not quite. And so we're basically creating a rubric that is going to show them what score they will get on the assignment if they follow these instructions in the rubric. Now here are some options down here. I can add more criterion. So I can say a new criterion, and this one is, online mastery. And I can give them some description of what that means and then give them point values for that. And then down here, I have some options. I can say I will write freeform comments when assessing students. I will remove points from rubrics. Don't post outcomes results to Learning Mastery Gradebook. Outcomes in the Learning Mastery Gradebook are something I'm not even going to talk about in this series because I don't generally use them. But if you want to learn more about that, then if I get enough requests, maybe I'll do a video about outcomes in the Mastery Gradebook. Use this rubric for assignment grading. I always make sure that is clicked because what this allows me to do is when I'm grading this assignment in SpeedGrader, I can just click these individual buttons saying, hey, oh yeah, that group, they worked well together, 10. And then it gives them that 10 points. It's very, very simple, and it makes my grading super easy. So I'll collate, I just said create rubric, and my rubric is based on a total of 15 points. But if we remember up here, I said that I have no points assigned for this assignment. So this box is saying, hey, leaving the assignment's total points at nan, or nothing, null, and the rubric's total points at 15 will result in a maximum possible score of nothing, right? So what I'm going to say is change, and that will change my total points to match my rubric so that there aren't any discrepancies. Okay, perfect. So that's setting up the rubric itself. Now let's get into actually how do we build this assignment. So I'm going to click Edit. Okay, perfect. Now right here I have something that should be familiar to you. If you saw my last video, this is exactly the same. Every assignment has essentially a page at the top that allows you to put in your assignment description. So we can just use text if we want. I can say work with your group to find the following online. And then I can create, let's say, a bulleted list, a picture of a puppy dog, the website for the United States Congress, Mr. Storm's novel on Amazon. By the way, I'm a published author. I have a couple of novels published on Amazon. If you want to find out more about those, just ask me later. It's self-promotion. It's fun. Okay, so anyway, so you can tell them, hey, this is what I want you to find. This is basically just your description, your assignment description. But just like with Pages, we can also add PDF documents. We can add videos. We can do all kinds of stuff. Now, one thing I've seen people try to do is they go, oh, okay, what I can do is I can go to my Google, I can go to Google Docs and I can create a worksheet in Google Docs, and then I can upload the Google Doc to my assignment description in Canvas, and then students can go in there and just fill out the Google Doc right there on Canvas, right? And some of you who have used Google Classroom in the past, that may seem like something you want to do because Google Classroom allows you to just instantly create copies of your documents for your students. Canvas does not do that. So if you do that, When students go in to manipulate that document, they will be manipulating your master document for that Google Doc, if that makes sense, right? So please stay away from using Google Docs. You can always you can always upload PDFs or Microsoft Word documents. Those work, and then students can download those or just read them on your screen and fill out their questions. Okay, so let's talk about these options down here. So we have our points. This is how many points the assignment is going to be worth. Down here we have assignment group. Now assignment group is something I'm going to get into later when I talk about the grade book itself. But you will have separate assignment groups for your course, and you can assign or you can organize which assignment group this assignment goes into. You can also set how this grade is displayed. I always use points. You can use percentage if you want, but I always use points. But you can do complete/incomplete. You can set a letter grade. You can do GPA scale. You can even say not graded. So this is an assignment, but it's not even graded. And then you can click do not count this assignment toward the final grade. So if it's not a graded assignment, you want to check that checkbox. Submission type. In here we can choose how are we going to submit this, this assignment, right? So we can say, I want you to submit it on paper, meaning I want you to hand it to me in class. That's something you can do. You can say no submission, meaning I don't want you to submit it at all. You can use an external tool. So if you want them to go to something like, oh, I don't know, Khan Academy or whatever, and you want them to complete a certain number of assignments, I believe there's an integration option where you can have them click a button in Khan Academy and it'll turn in the assignment here. I haven't played too much with this, so if you have more experience with that, please let me know. What I mostly use, and by mostly I mean 99.9% of the time, is online. Because I want them to be able to turn in their assignments on Canvas. So online means they can turn it in here. Here are some options. Text entry, meaning whenever they click submit assignment, they will get a text entry box at the bottom of the assignment page where they can type in their answer. This is great for short essay style questions. So the assignment description can be, you know, tell me in 250 words or more why you think, you know, doing school online is good or bad. Give me reasons, blah, 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 blah. You can also use website URL. What that means is, let's say, and this is relevant to this lesson, let's say one of these, the last option is I want you to, you know, find the URL for a specific website. I can give them the option to just turn in that URL as their assignment. So they can copy and paste the website URL and put that there as their submission. Media recordings, this one's great because this allows them to click a button and then record them talking about something, right? So they can use the webcam on their laptop and it will record them talking about a subject. So if let's say you're doing an art project and you want them to give a self-evaluation of the project, you can say, all right, I'm going to use the media recording and you're just going to talk to me about your project and explain why you made the choices you made. File uploads. This one's great. I use this most of the time. This means they create a file, and then they upload that file to Canvas for you to grade later. With this, you can also restrict file upload types by typing in the extension. And notice I have a bunch of file upload types that I already have in here. So let's say we're doing a web development unit, and I want them to create an HTML file. I can restrict it by HTML. Meaning if they try to upload a PDF or a Word doc, it will not work, right? The best part about file uploads is that if you upload a file that's compatible with Google's SpeedGrader, or not Google, but Canvas's SpeedGrader, then it will open up that file in SpeedGrader and allow you to grade it right there in the web browser. So let's say they upload a Microsoft Word document. You won't have to download all of those files and then open them up individually in Microsoft Word. SpeedGrader will open up the Word document for each student in your browser, and you can read it and make comments and grade them all in the same place. It's fantastic. I love this tool. Okay, Down here, we can do submission attempts. This is new. This is new. This is a new addition. It used to be that you can just set them to unlimited by default. They can submit it as many times as they want. In here, you can actually say you only can submit it, say 5 times, and then you lose your chance to submit it again. You can create group assignments, which means you can group these students together in Canvas and say this group is working to submit one version of this assignment. That's fun too. You can require peer reviews, meaning students have to go in and actually review other students' work. I use this a lot in my design classes. It's a lot of fun. Sync to Aspire, this is something we'll talk about when I get into the Aspire and Canvas link. All right, now we have Assign To. This is where we can choose which section I want to assign this to, or we can say specific students. So I want to assign this only to Michael Storm, right? So we can choose who we want to assign this to. So maybe just first period or Michael Storm, whatever, right? We can set a due date here. We can click the calendar and pick which day we want it to be due. I want this due on September 16th, and I want it to be, oh, and right here, you can see it defaulted to 11:59 p.m. Let's say you want it at 3 in the afternoon. So you can come in here and actually set it to 3 p.m. in the afternoon, right? So you can actually change the time as well. And let's say I only want it to be available from the 14th to the 18th. So they can only work on it during that week. So this assignment will only be available then. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this. Oh, sorry, I do not want, let's turn off group assignment for that because I haven't set up groups in this course. I'm going to click save. Perfect. So now this is what an assignment should look like. Now, should is a weird term there because my assignments tend to have a lot more information in the description, but you get the gist. Basically, it says, hey, here's a rubric, these are the due dates, all this stuff. And the great part about assignments is, again, you're taking in files, you can grade those files in SpeedGrader, and it makes it super, super, super easy. In the next video, we're going to talk about quizzes. Quizzes are used specifically for things where you're going to ask them a series of questions and they're going to answer those questions. You might be thinking of quizzes just being tests, but that's not the case in Canvas. We're going to talk about that in the next video. So see me there, and I will see you next time.